And we begin this hour in Saldanha Bay, where the Western Cape High Court will continue to hear witness testimony as the trial into the disappearance of Joshlin Smith continues. Her mother, Kelly, and two co-accused are facing charges of kidnapping and human trafficking, while some witnesses described Kelly as a neglectful mother. Her former employer presented a different view in her testimony yesterday, stating that Kelly showed love and care for her children despite her struggle with drug addiction. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi has been following the story for us and also been following the proceedings. Nasiphi, a very good morning to you. Looking at the testimonies from yesterday and also the name of Gayton McKenzie, who's currently Minister of Sports and Arts and Culture. Of course, at that time, he wasn't minister yet, but still the leader of the Patriotic Alliance. Just give us some details with regards to why his name was mentioned yesterday.
Well, Aldrin, Joshlin disappears on the 19th of February, that Monday of 2024. We only catch on as Newzroom Afrika around the 28th, 27th of February. And it was on that day when we arrived in Saldanha Bay in the hope that we'll be able to speak to the mother of this missing girl who had been missing at the time for over a week. And on that particular day, we unfortunately were unable to speak to her because at the time, Gayton McKenzie, the leader of the Patriotic Alliance, had moved the mother out of Saldanha Bay and had booked for her and the boyfriend, accused number one, Jacqueline Apollos, at a hotel. And on that particular day, he also had a Facebook Live interview with the mother regarding what happened on that particular day. So his name, Gayton McKenzie, was mentioned in court yesterday by accused two, Stefano van Rijn. We know Stefano as the friend of the couple, Kelly and Jacqueline. And according to his lawyer says that he was taken by an entourage of people, put in a bakkie or asked to get into a bakkie, and there was a convoy. In this convoy, Gayton McKenzie formed part of, and that was the envoy that dropped off Stefano van Rijn at the Saldanha Bay police station, where a statement was taken by a detective constable of the FCS unit regarding what happened on the 19th of February. So that's how his name enters the fray, and particularly into this case. But he was part of this, he was part of the searches, but also, you would find him here in Saldanha Bay, Middle Post to be specific, during the time of Joshlin's disappearance. And he, as I mentioned, had the sit-down interview with both Kelly and Buta, trying to establish what has happened. But many following that instance had questioned his role into this particular trial, and also the fact that we then saw community members themselves leading the investigation, searching people's homes. Many people till this day in Saldanha, in Middle Post to be specific, saying that that particular moment or that time following Joshlin's disappearance really fragmented the community and split it in half racially.
And this was also, of course, as we're building up to the elections. But then again, this matter started at the lower courts. Speak to us about the link that has been established based on the merits between the three co-accused.
So initially, 4 people were arrested for the human trafficking and kidnapping charges of Joshlin. The state withdrew charges from one of the accused and arrested a 4th accused, Laurentia Lombard, who turned state witness. The state withdrew charges against her, and it was communicated that she had turned state witness. And after the state withdrawing charges against Laurentia Lombard, it was also kind of, a picture was painted a bit clearer for the community and us media as to the reasons behind the state has put forward these 2 charges. charges of human trafficking, including kidnapping charges. We understood from what we heard from the Vredenburg Magistrate Court last year that the plan to sell all three of Kelly's children was concocted in August of 2023. We also know that on the 18th of February 2024, this is the night before Joshlin disappeared, Kelly, together with Joshlin, met a woman who emerged out of a white vehicle that evening. We understand that monies were exchanged. Joshlin and Kelly went back home, and it was at the house of Kelly where we understand that money was then split amongst the four accused, now three accused, because the charges have been withdrawn against Laurentia Lombard. So as much as, you know, the community is here, or rather attending the trial proceedings, many are anticipating that testimony by Laurentia Lombard, who has turned state witness, and hoping that her testimony will be able to not only blow this case wide open, but also perhaps point towards a direction that police could look into in locating the missing girl, as we do know that it has been over a year now since the then 6-year-old Joshlin Smith had mysteriously disappeared from her home. And we heard last week during trial proceedings from various police officers who were involved in the initial investigation into her disappearance that a number of resources were pulled, Aldrin. About 151 detectives at some point were in Saldanha Bay forming part of that investigation to try and locate the missing girl. And there was also a day that we heard from the station commander that on that particular day they had about 380 members on the ground, divided into 6 sections, scouring throughout Middle Post and Saldanha Bay, searching both land, air, including sea searches.